Number 10. Why the Last Man? A mysterious airborne plague that violently wipes out every living creature with a Y chromosome. In this world, snap 2 males are spared. The immediate fascinating and elevating difference here, separating Why the Last Man from some of the other dystopian tales, is its mostly female ensemble, indirectly tackling the idea of a world with almost no men. It shows us a form of pioneering pandemonium. The other grand ingredient here is that Yorick, played by Ben Schnetzer, is kind of a loser. It'll be interesting to see how the theme of remarkably unspecial man is made the most special person on the planet. Why the Last Man is an American post-apocalyptic drama television series. It received generally positive reviews from critics, but was cancelled after 1 season.
You're reproductively interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Number 9. La Brea. This one is not technically an apocalyptic show, but it has almost everything it should have in the apocalyptic setting. Like, they have to survive this new and whole traumatic experience, they have to build shelters, and a lot of things. So that's why I'm included La Brea into this list. La Brea follows a group of strangers who get swallowed up by a massive sinkhole opening in the middle of Los Angeles. But not only do they survive, but wake up to find themselves in the strange and new unexplainable prehistoric world. It was a bit of a rough start, but luckily the series was able to improve with each new episode. And CGI animals are not very good, so the show decided quickly to move away from those CGI animals and decided to put the focus of their attention on the human conflicts in the story. Overall, this is actually a pretty good show. Number 8. To the Lake.
We're gonna help you. Just close your eyes.
After a mysterious outbreak in Moscow, the Russian capital gradually turns into a city of the dead, and chaos erupts, and a small group attempts to get to a remote lake where they have a house and they believe they can be safe. In this show, we have a group of people who are thrust together, and they have a lot of internal conflict between them, and each of them bring their own flaws and drama to the group. The story focuses on the group and their journey to get to this house and everything that they have to endure on their way there. There are 8 episodes in this first season. We do have tiny bits from the outside world, but we don't see much, so it's really an isolating type of story. I mean, the characteristic of the narrative is that we feel alone, and it takes place during the winter in Russia. To the Lake is a Russian post-apocalyptic thriller television series. The first season of the show is based on Vongo Zero, a novel by Russian author Yana Vanner. Number 7. Snowpiercer. Set in 2031, the entire world is frozen. The show follows the train called the Snowpiercer with a perpetual motion engine train that allows the last of humanity to hide out from a second ice age. The constant motion of the train provides energy and prevents the passengers from freezing as well. In the train, we have a group of lower-class citizens and front other people living the good life. The show explores issues of class warfare, social injustice, and the politics of survival. Snowpiercer is an American post-apocalyptic dystopian thriller television series. It is based on both the 2013 film of the same name and the 1982 French graphic novel Le Transpersonnage. Number 6. Sweet Tooth. 10 years after the events of the Great Crumble, a boy who is half human and half deer must learn to survive in the post-apocalyptic world with other hybrids. And at the same time, people are getting sick and dying from an unknown virus. These hybrid babies began to be born. They're part human and part animal, so normal people think that the hybrids were actually the origin of the virus. There's a hybrid boy named Gus, and he's sheltered and living in safety in a secluded forest home. He unexpectedly befriends a wanderer named Jeopard, and then they set out on adventure. While much of the story focuses on Gus and Jeopard, there are a couple of other storylines that are going on simultaneously. The world building in this series is done really well, and the story conflict creates some good tension as well as excitement. Sweet Tooth is an American fantasy drama streaming television series. It is based on the comic book of the same name. The series was renewed for a 2nd season. Number 5. Tribes of Europa. 43 years after a mysterious global technological failure caused war rages between the tribes that have emerged from the wreckage of Europe. 3 siblings from the peaceful originate tribe, Keanu, Liv, and Elja, are separated in their own paths in a fight for the future of this new Europa. So we have 4 tribes. The first one is Origins. They are the peaceful, and they live in the forest. They keep to themselves, and also they don't want technology. There's the Crimson Republic. They're the military faction. They're wanting to return Europe to what it was, but with them in control, we have the Crows, and they're merciless warriors, and they like to enslave everybody else. Finally, there's the Atlanteans. Aside from hearing that they are the most technologically advanced tribe, and they are the impetus of the story, Tribes of Europa is a German sci-fi television series created by Philip Koch. Number 4. Raised by Wolves. After Earth is torn apart by religious differences and other things, 2 androids start a new settlement and family with human embryos on the planet Kepler 22b. 12 years later, only one child remains, and the arrival of an ark of surviving humans presents a threat that Mother has no choice but to confront. As we move in progress, we start to learn about these different characters, where they come from, and where the universe is at this point, and going back and showing us what exactly happened to lead up and build up to where we are right now. There are so many dimensions to these characters, and we also get some really epic and grand action scenes along with the incredible CGI. It's one of the best looking sci-fi shows. Raised by Wolves is an American science fiction drama television series. The show received generally positive reviews from critics. However, the series was cancelled after 2 seasons. Number 3, Station 11. 20 years after a flu pandemic resulted in the collapse of civilization, a group of survivors trying to rebuild and reimagine the world anew while holding on to the best of what's been lost. We follow multiple timelines and story arcs that are interconnected, but don't necessarily cross paths in large ways. We get placed into a world with some quietly charismatic characters. Watch them be introduced to the main story conflict. Main story plot point of a devastating flu that pretty much wipes out humanity. Set designs and the cinematography are also really well crafted. Station 11 is an American post-apocalyptic dystopian fiction miniseries. Based on the 2014 novel of the same name, it received critical acclaim and was nominated for 7 Primetime Emmy Awards. Number 2, Black Summer. This zombie series is really a fresh feel for those zombie-themed shows. Black Summer follows a crack team of special forces as it fights for hope in the darkest hours of the zombie apocalypse. Season 1 is 8 episodes long, and it is told in a series of short chapters. The pace is quick-moving, and the characters are intriguing. That just designs it to keep you on the edge of your seat and not get bored as things progress. And the series itself is less about the zombies and more about the survivors and their struggle to get to safety. Because the story is told in a series of chapters, we get little snippets from everywhere. And as the story comes together, we realize that this is really just a larger culmination of events. Black Summer is an American streaming television series. It is a spin-off of Z Nation. Number 1, The Last of Us. The Last of Us tells the story of Joel and Ellie. The show is set in a post-apocalyptic world. Joel is a hardened survivor, and he is hired to smuggle Ellie, a 14-year-old teenage girl. It starts as a very small job, but soon becomes a brutal journey as they must traverse and depend on each other to survive in this post-pandemic American wasteland. And also, some doctors believe that Ellie may be the cure to the plague, and the show will mostly follow the plot of the first game. But it also does a very decent job of setting up exactly what this new series will be about. For those who aren't familiar with the video game, The Last of Us is an upcoming American post-apocalyptic drama television series, based on the 2013 video game of the same name. The series said to be the largest television production in Canadian history. The Last of Us is set to debut in January 2023.